everybody, welcome to a new month. We are starting a new series. I have decided to change the format of my videos. I noticed that the longer videos were not getting the views I'd like, so I've decided to change the format. So this is the new format. I've already made an announcement video, so if you haven't seen that, please check it out. It's somewhere on the channel before this one. And we are going to continue the production series, and I really like to finish the production series like soonest because it's been going for a while. So this month's videos, because I'm going to release all of them at the same time, just that they are going to be shorter clips, not the same day, just the same month. We're going to talk about ranking production from the most expensive to the least expensive. I'll probably start the other way around, least to most. And I'm sure if you're on your production journey, you're going to find something that works for you, depending on your budget, if you even have a budget, and basically how to start that way. So we're going to start with the lowest to the highest, and I'm going to start with this video with one of the ones that is the most popular for everybody to start with. So thank you for being here. So each method has its pros and cons. So don't think that just because this is the most affordable way of doing your production that this is the best one. They all have their pros and cons. So please be aware even as you choose. And there's a reason why some people also decide to just increase their budget so they can be able to start in a different route. So here we go. So we're going to start with working with a local tailor. That is usually very difficult, especially if you're not trained in fashion. If you've been trained in fashion, it's a bit easier because there are some aspects you could really monitor, especially the patterns, cutting, also meeting with the clients and all that. The production with a local tailor is where you could end up gambling, because if you've never done it before, it could be something that would either really work out or not work out at all, because you're not just managing the work, you're also managing the person you're working with. As someone who has worked with tailors before, as someone who's been employed by someone who has tailors and also outsourced work with tailors, I have found that a tailor, at least in Kenya, really respects somebody who actually knows fashion and actually understands patterns, cuttings and all that. There is an attitude adjustment when they know you know how to do that than when you don't know anything at all. So for everyone who wants to start a fashion brand or a fashion business, that includes making clothes for people, that will help you a lot, because tailors respect the skill level because they feel like they'll be instructed better. But if you leave everything to the tailor, it becomes very distressful. Unless you have the budget to hire people in all the other segments, it's important that you know at least the basics. So for this specific segment, the startup cost is about 5,000 to 50,000. It really depends on your order and if you have equipment or not, and of course you have to at least cover the amount of money you're going to pay the tailor for making the outfit and everything like that, and your material costs like threads, zips. There are things you buy. You find that you also just need to have surplus even if you're given a deposit, but this is one of the easiest tiers to get into. It really just depends on the resources you have. A lot of people start from here, a lot of people just work with tailors in the marketplace. You will definitely experience some delays, especially if it's a good tailor. They probably have a lot of people they're working with, and they also have their personal work, so you might find that they could delay your work. They could also outsource your work. You might think that, oh, this person is going to do the work, but if they're really desperate for money, sometimes they even outsource your work. Another thing is the quality could differ. Not every tailor is skilled at everything they say they're skilled at. It depends on the apprenticeship they got. So if they got apprenticeship in a menswear brand or something, or they learn from someone who did menswear, you find that they're probably better at that, and they're more technical. And you might find that there are some who are very creative and have worked with people who do wedding gowns and corsets and stuff like that, and you might find that they are more creative. And then there are some who just like doing mass production, the kimonos, the palazzos, the shorts, the easy things, and it's very difficult for you to accept, I mean for them to be able to do the work. So you also have to research on the kind of work you need done, and then give the tailors according to the skill they have. So it really, it's a long process. It is definitely a long process. Don't think that just because you get a tailor you'll be able to work with it. Something happens if they travel. In Kenya here we like making fun of the transfer window of house helps. Usually during the Christmas season, when everyone gives their house helps leave for Christmas, it's very difficult for them sometimes to come back in January. It happens the same in the fashion industry. There is a transfer window. A lot of tailors take their time off in December. So they make their money, and then just before Christmas week they disappear, and it's very difficult to get them back. Some of them even disappear before the Christmas week because they're also busy with their own personal projects. Do not be fooled. Even if you employ a tailor, they have their personal projects. Never be fooled. So be very wise. Give them their day offs if you've employed someone. We're going to get to that. For their personal projects, so that they don't tell you someone died or they have an emergency and all that. All those excuses are usually to finish up their own personal projects. Yeah. So I will write a summary here, and also in my LinkedIn letter. Actually, I should just put it in LinkedIn so that you can also just read through. I'll do a summary of just what I've said on LinkedIn. So next one in the next video.